Welcome back. Let's learn a few more types that we can use with TypeScript. The first one is something called a tuple. And by the way, where do these types come from? Well, some programming languages actually have these types that we're going to be talking about. And JavaScript just happens to not have them. Doesn't mean it's a bad thing, but TypeScript allows us to actually use them, which is a pretty nice feature. So a tuple is, well, I think just showing you might make sense what a tuple is. We can say let basket be string and number. And now the basket will have a basketball and a 5 in its array. So if I save this, everything still works. And that's a tuple. A tuple you can define in this syntax and have different types inside of it. So that if for some reason my order changes and I do 5 and now basket, let me make sure I add the string, I get an error because it's expecting this specific type and this type order. And it can come in very handy for certain things. You might not use it that often, but just again, like I said, just an extra feature you can use. Another one that's very popular, especially because it exists in a lot of programming languages, is something called enum, for enumerable. And here we can do something like this. We can say enum size. You see that we get that highlighting. So this can be anything that we want and usually capitalize it. And we'll say with curly brackets that small equals to 1, medium equals 2, and let's say large equals to 3. And now, using this enum type, I can say let size, let's say size name, be a string, and say equals size 2. What does that mean? Let's save and see what happens. I'm not getting any errors. So it looks like it's working. I'm getting no errors. But if I go to typescript.js, whoa, I'm getting some funky outputs here. But it looks like the size 2 that I'm getting should output medium. Let's test this theory. I'm going to say console.log size name. I'm going to save. I'm going to close the compiler for now and just run node typescript.js, and I get medium. I know this can get a little bit confusing, but again, something that you can read up on. With enums, you can have a different data structure that you can use to organize your information for your program. For example, if we had a shopping cart and we had small, medium, and large sizes, and each value of the small, medium, and large was 1, 2, and 3, well, we can use size name to make sure that we get the correct value. Now, let's say we want to have, instead of size 2, let's say we're going to have size small. If I run the compiler, type size small is not assignable to type string. But if I change this to number, everything works because size small is now equal to 1. And you can see if I hover over this, it shows me that size small is equal to 1. Now, when would this be actually useful? Well, Enums allow us to define a set of named constants, just like we have here. And using them, we can make it easier to perhaps document intent or create a set of distinct classes such as sizes, or perhaps maybe we want to have directions like up, down, left, right, and each direction has a value associated with it. Again, you can read up more about it on their documentation. It's just another useful tool. All right, let's take a break and I'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye.